Tinseltown can be tough enough to navigate without off-screen animosity getting in the way, and for some co-stars, the heat of the hatred becomes simply too much to bear. Whether it's a television program where the actors have to work together for years on end, a movie where they're isolated for months on set, or even a stage show where everyone goes home afterwards, things can get bad fast. Sometimes even Hollywood's most elite actors couldn't pretend to get along with their colleagues behind the scenes and helped give them the boot. Here are some actors who use their celebrity clout to kick their rivals out. Kevin James. After working with Leah Remini for nearly a decade on The King of Queens, Kevin James established quite a kinship with his on-screen wife from the show, so it was hardly a surprise that he'd invite her to guest star on his new program, Kevin Can Wait.
It's my life forever. I can't get rid of her.
But what did come as a surprise was what that meant for his newest on-screen leading lady, Erin Hayes. The two had shared the screen for the show's inaugural season, but Hayes was unceremoniously kicked off the show before its second season because, according to sources, he had a better chemistry with Remini. For her part, Hayes didn't betray much in the way of gory details when she confirmed the news on Twitter, writing, "True, I've been let go from the show. Very sad. I had a great experience season 1. Thank you for all the support from our wonderful fans." But it certainly has to sting that the reason for her departure was clearly her co-star's interest in working with someone else instead of her. Ouch.
All right, you know what? You won this, my little Care Bear. You won this one.
Will Smith. Although he's since made a name for himself in movies, Will Smith's original breakthrough role was undoubtedly his turn as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in the hit 90s sitcom. But while the series would last for 6 seasons and follow the Banks family nephew through the many ups and downs of teenagedom, there was one castmate who didn't last the length of the program, Janet Hubert. And the actress has been more than willing to spill the tea as to why she was shown the door and replaced with another Aunt Viv actress, Daphne Maxwell Reid, after the show's 3rd season.
You know, Miss Banks, since you had that baby, there's something different about you.
In 2013, Hubert told Yahoo, "Smith said we're just gonna replace her and act like nothing happened. Well, honey, that is not what happened, is it? The world has let me know that my place on that show was very, very loved. I felt demonized and beaten up and crucified for many, many years. No one came forward in my defense." To be fair to Smith, he wasn't the only one who made a play for her firing. Alfonso Ribeiro once admitted in a comedic stand-up set, "Long story short, there were days when we were all on the set and she would literally go off on people. Still, old feuds die hard." Hubert has continued to lash out at her former co-stars as a result of the tiff that cost her the job so many years back.
I spoke out against the injustices of what they did to me. And so, yes, I've had a rough time.
Tori Spelling. Although the TV world has certainly changed its tune on Shannon Doherty as a result of her brave public battle with breast cancer, the actress has made more than her fair share of enemies around Hollywood over the years as well. One such enemy is Tori Spelling, daughter of the legendary 90s television executive Aaron Spelling, who had her fired from the set of Beverly Hills 90210 after one particularly brutal day of infeuding between Doherty and co-star Jenny Garth. Spelling later admitted she was the one responsible for having Doherty fired after its 4th season by saying, "I remember I could hear the door fly open and everyone screaming and crying. That's when I was told the boys just had to break up Jenny, Garth, and Shannon. It was like a fistfight." She then turned to her powerful dad to put an end to the madness after the cast unanimously prompted her to do so.
And I told them, I said, "I feel really bad doing this. She's my friend. I don't feel like I should be doing this."
Even so, Spelling said she felt that her decision to have Doherty canned from the show was the right one. She did get a chance to reprise her role as Brenda Walsh in the 90210 reboot, but it wasn't the last time one of Doherty's co-stars got her axed from a hit series either. Alyssa Milano. The official line regarding Shannon Doherty's early exit from Charmed, which ran for 5 more seasons after the actress was written out, was that the WB encouraged her to pursue other interests outside of the witchy series.
Time for me personally, and I thought it was time for the show, because a show like that needs to stay fresh.
But it's one of the worst-kept secrets in Hollywood that her behind-the-scenes drama with co-star Alyssa Milano played a major part in the network's decision to let her go.
I was not a troublemaker. I was just a pain.
Doherty herself told Entertainment Tonight,
"There was too much drama on the set and not enough passion for the work. You know, I'm 30 years old and I don't have time for drama in my life anymore."
Milano has since played coy about the reasons behind Doherty's departure.
I don't know if she got fired. We never really found out what happened.
But where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Charlie Sheen. As the embattled star of 2.5 Men, Charlie Sheen got to learn a thing or two about how easily a big name can have a disfavored actor ousted from a major series. His extremely public feud with show creator Chuck Lorre ended with Sheen being killed off the program after its 8th season. And Sheen would eventually torpedo that power into his next big series, Anger Management, to get his co-star Selma Blair kicked off. Sheen reportedly texted Blair to tell her that she would be dropped from the show after the two experienced some on-set discord. Sheen would later point to creative reasons for her exit, telling The Hollywood Reporter, "Her character was written out because it was not about our relationship, and the problem was too many people were still excited about the 2.5 character and thought the anger management character was a little dull." But according to TMZ, Sheen had demanded that the actress be terminated or he would walk, after she allegedly complained to producers about his notorious off-screen antics. Alec Baldwin. Although Alec Baldwin is not without his own history of personal controversies, he still managed to maintain the upper hand over many of his co-stars over the years. So when he and his would-be stage partner Shia LaBeouf couldn't see eye to eye during preparations for the debut of the play Orphans, producers decided to give LaBeouf the boot rather than letting their marquee star walk away from it.
Alec went to the producers and said, "I can't take it another day, fire him."
I think that might have been what happened.
As Baldwin would admit to Vulture, "There was friction between us from the beginning, and one day he attacked me in front of everyone. I took the stage manager to another room and I said, one of us is going to go. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll go. I said, don't fire the kid, I'll quit. They said, no, 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 and they fired him." For what it's worth, LaBeouf would keep a surprisingly pleasant attitude towards the production after the fact.
No, they got the show they need. They got the show.
They got another guy in there. Who'd they run in?
A great actor, actually. They didn't run in nobody. He's a great actor. His name's Ben Foster. He's terrific.
Sylvester Stallone. Although The Lords of Flatbush would not end up being one of Sylvester Stallone's most memorable movies, it did have an indelible impact on the history of Hollywood and his relationship with another icon of the same generation. The action star was originally supposed to share the screen with Richard Gere for the film, but admitted that he pulled some strings to have him replaced. He told Ain't It Cool News, "We never hit it off. He would strut around in his oversized motorcycle jacket like he was the baddest knight at the round table. One day, during an improv, he grabbed me, we were simulating a fight scene, and got a little carried away. I told him in a gentle fashion to lighten up, but he was completely in character and impossible to deal with. Things only got worse from there." Stallone revealed that during rehearsals, Richard Gere ate a mustard-covered sandwich in a car with him and spilled some of the condiment on his lap, which was a big no-no for the action star. Then we're rehearsing at Coney Island and it was lunchtime, so we decided to take a break, and the only place that was warm was in the backseat of a Toyota. I was eating a hot dog and he climbs in with a half a chicken covered in mustard with grease nearly dripping out of the aluminum wrapper. I said, "If it gets on my pants, you're gonna know about it." He proceeds to bite into the chicken and a small greasy river of mustard lands on my thigh. I elbowed him in the side of the head and basically pushed him out of the car. The director had to make a choice. One of us had to go. One of us had to stay. Richard was given his walking papers and to this day seriously dislikes me.
It's a real mustard-tastrophe.
Thanks for watching. Click the Nicki Swift icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.